explain it all, we're going to bring in CTV's Rachel Aiello, who's live in Ottawa for us today. Rachel, can you be our chief translator just for a moment? When we hear sub-amendments to a sub-amendment, probably most people watching's heads are spinning just a little bit. So help us make sense of what's happening in Ottawa today.
Yeah, my pleasure. So after the government presents a budget, the finance minister moves a motion, it's one line long, that the House of Commons accept or approve of the government's budgetary policy. That was moved right after the finance minister tabled the budget. And then the opposition parties have turns to move amendments to that motion. And that is what we've seen play out over the last 2 days. So it was actually the Bloc who went first this time, moving their amendment to the motion. And then the Conservatives this morning moved their sub-amendment. And it's kind of, Caroline, like peeling back an onion. So you've got to deal with the sub-amendment before you move on to the amendment. And that is the vote that we're going to be seeing tonight. Both of these amendments brought forward by the Bloc and the Conservatives call on the House of Commons to reject the budget. And it is on that basis that the Liberals are saying they're going to be treating these votes as votes of confidence. So tonight it will be on the Conservative sub-amendment, rejecting the budget for a myriad of reasons. Tomorrow they'll have another test of confidence when they vote on the Bloc. And then they will be going to the main motion when they get back from their break. But some of the suspense, we can say, has kind of been taken out of this now because we have just heard from NDP interim leader Don Davies, who has affirmed that his 7 MPs will give the Liberals the numbers they need to survive tonight's confidence vote. Take a listen.
Mr. Davies, confidence vote, or is the government going to fall, or is the government going to live?
Vote today?
Yeah.
Yes, on the vote today.
Conservative amendment?
Yeah.
Well, we're not supporting it.
No. What about tomorrow?
What
about that block one?
We're still studying that motion, but the one today we're definitely voting against.
What
Because the Conservatives want, massive cuts to public spending. That's exactly the opposite direction that we Democrats think we need to go in, which is investing in Canadian economy at this point. So there's absolutely no way we're going to support the Conservative motion today.
So all 7 of your members vote against the Conservative motion, but in the NDP or in the Bloc motion, increases to health care and pension supports. Do you guys support that? Will you vote for it?
Well, we're still studying that motion as well. So
what do you object to it? Is there anything in there objectionable?
Well, we're still debating that in our caucus, but we're taking them one motion at a time. It's interesting that the Conservatives were asleep at the switch and allowed the Bloc to get the amendment in before they did. I think that speaks to the disarray in the Conservative Party right now. But, we had a discussion about the vote today, and we decided we're going to vote no, and we'll have a discussion tomorrow about the Bloc motion after we discuss.
Everybody's showing up today to vote?
Yeah, everybody
Are you
will show
worried
up.
about the government falling?
Well, that's always a concern. I mean, that's the implication of any vote, but that's not our prime consideration. We analyze the motion on its merits, and the Conservative motion is it's a Ronald Reagan, Maggie Thatcher, rip government to shreds motion. Calling for a $42 billion deficit when it's $78 billion. That means there's $36 billion of additional cuts that they would want to see out of this government. Can you imagine what that would do to services and Canadians across this country? So we're voting against the Conservative motion because it's absolutely irresponsible. It's extremely right-wing, and it's not the direction that the country should be going in our view.
What about the main motion? What about the budget? Have you made a decision yet?
We're still waiting.
Because you're a BC MP, do you have any thoughts on the Supreme Court dismissing the appeal from Universal Ostrich Farms and the ostriches aren't going ahead to be culled?
No, I have no view. I haven't read the decision.
Okay.
So I haven't really Thanks so much.
Thanks for
Thank you
stopping.
very much for that clarity.
So you can hear there Davies saying that his caucus has made the decision specifically on the vote that's happening tonight on the Conservative sub-amendment. Seems that they're still talking about tomorrow's confidence vote. So at this juncture, all we know is that the NDP are going to be voting with the Liberals to prevent them falling on a matter of confidence tonight. Live question remains in the votes coming.
All right, but the NDP has signaled previously that nobody really wants a Christmas election. So is the expectation that we won't see the NDP support that Bloc motion?
It remains to be seen because some of the wording in the Bloc motion is slightly different where the Conservatives went with theirs. It's talking about increases for health funding, for an example. So it is possible, though, that the Conservatives could reject that one. Like, these are really shifting numbers, House party dynamics in terms of these few votes. But I think the main message that we were just talking about yesterday remains on the main motion. Should these amendments not pass, it's still that question of, are they going to get 2 votes in favor? Are they going to get 4 MPs to abstain? The numbers and the dynamics dynamics around the 170 Liberal MP minority government still stands heading into those key votes coming up. But certainly tonight it'll be an interesting one to watch, this first test of the Carney government of this fall sitting. Although the suspense has been taken out of it, interesting to see where other MPs fall tonight.
Well, thank heavens we've got you there analyzing all of this for us, Rachel. Aiello in Ottawa. Appreciate your insights.
Of course.